I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. On page 15 of the Grade 1 Discovering Music Theory book, this is chapter 3, looking again at the topic of rhythm. We're asked to do a couple of things really. First of all, we're asked to number and show where each beat falls. And then we're asked to tick which box shows the example where the bar is correctly grouped. And you'll find that if you do that, that will help you answer number 1, because when beats are incorrectly grouped, it's really difficult to read. Because we know that beats should be showing a complete beat grouped properly together. Everything should be grouped showing one crotchet beat. And so here it's really difficult to see where beat 3 comes, because we've got this break here. It looks like this could be beat 3, but we know that 4 semiquavers make a beat and they should be together. So there's beat 1. That's beat 2, the start of beat 2, all of that is beat 2, beat 3 starts here, and it's really tricky to see that that's still beat 2 because it's incorrectly grouped. Whereas here we can easily see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. Here again we've only got half a beat and then there's a break, so that looks like that's beat 2 and that looks like that's beat 3, but actually that's beat 3 there, which should be joined to that there. So it's easier if you just show where the beats fall with the beaming. So let's just show this one. So there's beat 1, 4 quarters makes beat 2, a half plus a half makes beat 3, that's beat 4. These are what should be beamed, and it makes it really difficult to read. And so if you want to sort of work through the first one with me and then maybe try some on your own, and then it doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can always work in pencil, always do work in pencil, and then you can always just erase out what doesn't quite work out. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. And so let's first of all look at how these are grouped. So a half and 2 quarters, if we just diagram that out, a half and then a quarter and a quarter gives us 1 beat. So we can see that's beat 1, a half and a half is beat 2, there's beat 3. So that is the correct one straight off. And we can see they are proper. So there's the start of beat 1, there's the start of beat 2, there's beat 3. If we try and do that now, it's easier to have this one to refer to, but you see there is a half and 2 quarters, so that is beat 1. There is a half and a half, so there should be a break there, and they should be together to show the start of beat 2, the rest of beat 2, there's beat 3. It's really hard to read when it's incorrectly grouped. So we know that a half and 2 quarters gives us a beat, so half, quarter, quarter. You can see there's beat 1, but incorrectly grouped. There's beat 2, there's beat 3, so beat 1, there is beat 2, there's beat 3. So then you can see once you've found the correct groupings, it's easy to place the beats. So have a go at the remaining exercises and then we'll check through them together. So let's try exercise C. So we know, if I just diagram it out, we know that 4 quarters makes a whole. So there's beat 1. And then a half and a half makes a beat. So there's beat 2. So hey presto, the first one is correct. That's beamed correctly. And so now we can easily show there's beat 1. There's beat 2. That's all the beats properly accounted for, properly grouped. So now we've got to show where the beat falls just the same, which you'll find is much trickier to do because they're incorrectly grouped. So 4 quarters, that's beat 1, and then a half and a half, that's beat 2. So 4 quarters, that's beat 1, a half and a half, there's the start of beat 2. Let's try this second one, this last one. So we should, if you remember, common time means 4/4. We're looking for 4 beats properly grouped. So there's beat 1. A half plus a half is beat 2. So this is not correctly beat. And then a half and 2 quarters, just diagramming that out. A half and 2 quarters. There's the next beat, and then a half and a half. So that's not correct. Let's try this next one. So there's beat 1. A half plus a half, that should be separately beamed. There's beat 2. A half and 2 quarters, there's beat 3. There's beat 4. So this should be correctly grouped. And straight away you can see that's so much easier to read. Beat 1, half plus a half is beat 2. Half and 2 quarters, there's beat 3, there's beat 4. So beat 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the correct one. So now let's just show there's beat 1, there's the start of beat 2, that's the remainder, there's the start of beat 3, that's the remainder, there's the start of beat 4. So then, there's beat 1, there's the start of beat 2, the second half of beat 2, there's the start of beat 3, there's the remainder, there's the start of beat 4. And you can see how much easier it is to read. And in the little text box here, it does tell us to try clapping or tapping the rhythms. So I'll just do this last one to show you how it works out in practice. We'll start with the correct one. So if we count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and a 4 and. I'll do that again. 1, 2 and 3 and a 4 and you can see where each new beat falls. If we try and do that here, now we know how it goes, we'll manage it, but it'll be trickier because they're not correctly beamed. 1, 2 and 3 and a 4 and so you need to see the break to show each new beat. 1, 2 and 3 and a 4 and so it's much easier when it's properly written out. And then finally we have a challenge, and so now we are asked to do the beaming rather than just spotting which one is correct. We are asked to beam, but it's easy enough if we just think about it first. So find out where each new beat falls. We should be finding 3 separate beats. A crotchet, that's beat 1. A half and 2 quarters. We know that a half and 2 quarters gives us a beat. So there's beat 2. They should all be joined together. There's beat 3. So we're going to have to beam those all together. Next bar. We know that there are 4 semiquavers in a crotchet beat because a semiquaver is a quarter of a beat each. A quarter plus a quarter makes a half, and 4 quarters makes a whole. So 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters makes a whole beat. There we go. And then here we have half, quarter, quarter. There's beat 2 and then there's beat 3. So we've done all the hard thinking. Now when I'm drawing these out, I find it easier to get the note heads in place. So let's just get the blobs. And I'm following their spacing, keeping everything aligned so that I don't lose track what I'm doing. And also then it's kind of properly spaced as well to show there's beat 1. There's a bit of a bigger gap because that's a full beat. There's a bit more squished in there, so we just pop those closer together. Now I'm going to do the stems because we want them all to be about the same length. Now we can get down to the business of beaming. So it's these 3 stems that are going to be beamed together. So we need 1 beam joining them all together. Now this is a quaver, so this only has 1 beam, but then these 2 semiquavers, just staying within those lines. We don't want to go over, otherwise we're heading to changing that one. We can see that those 2 are now beamed twice. So we can see 1, 2 and a 3. And so let's do the same again here. There's a lot to think about, that's why I just get everything done one aspect at a time. So I'm keeping everything reasonably aligned. Lots of blobs in this one. Let's just tidy that one up. So now I'll put the stems. By all means, you can use a ruler for the stems too. Do have the stems going from top to bottom, because if you go, if I just show you, if you go from bottom to the top, you're sort of likely to wander off if you're not careful, depending if you're right or left-handed. And also, if you do it in one movement, you sort of end up with a bit of a scoop if you're not careful. So top to bottom, they're kind of the same length. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are all semiquavers, so we need 2 beams all the way through. And then we have these 3 beamed together. That's a bit short. There we go. And these last 2 need another beam. And you can see straight away how much easier that is to read. 1, 2 and a 3. You can see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. 1 E and a 2 and a 3. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.